Hello and welcome back to Better Than Adventure. I have to do the same stuff I was doing before. Let's get into it. Uh, I was talking about a bunch of stuff last time, and one of them were Let's Plays and shit. Mainly, like, I just wanted to continue that, just with one little final thing. This has always been a hobby for me. I have thought about, like, monetization and such. And I've always, even if, that, for one, I'm scared of the tax thing, because, you have to kind of do taxes once you're properly doing YouTube, you have to do your taxes. And as a proud as somebody who doesn't like paperwork, one of the biggest reasons I have never even considered monetization is because the idea of me doing my taxes, and especially doing them wrong, is terrifying. Because if you're not self-employed, at least where I live, that's automatically deducted, so I don't have to fucking struggle with that. And even if it was, at least the government would tell me how much I need to pay them, and I wouldn't need to guess, because I don't live in America, where you have to fucking guess how much money you owe the government, and if you guess wrong, you go to jail. I don't have to play that game. But yeah, because of that, I can afford to be, like, super duper lazy, because it's not a job. What people forget with YouTube is that, like, so many of these YouTubers people make fun of are, like, business people. Not in the sense that they may know a lot about business, but very few big YouTubers work alone. They have editors, like, managers, fucking writers. Some of these YouTubers basically only exist to, like, some people will write scripts and voice, and everything else is done by another team. That's how a lot of these people can pump out videos at the speed they do. There's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like I feel like this is partially why some stuff on YouTube feels a bit more samey than it once did. It's because everybody's hiring the same kinds of editors instead of every YouTuber editing their own videos in a way that is kind of their own, even if it may not be optimal. But yeah, I'm really lazy. There are some Let's Plays I started back in 2024 that got severely pushed back for reasons. Because I have, like, video game commitment issues, let's call them that, where, like, there will be a game I really love playing, and I just get, like, choice paralysis, because, like, I just feel like, oh, but do I really want to do that? Because, like, in my mind, and I feel like one of the best and worst things I did in 2025 was start playing Factorio and Better Than Adventure. Also, on this central one, I'll put one every 2 blocks, because I feel like, yeah, this isn't going to reach 0, and it's just going to be better. But yeah, like, back in the day, I mostly played console games, right, on the channel. I don't know why. I was just in the mood for them. And then in, like, 2025, because, like, here's the issue, right? I, for a while on my channel, had a bit of a paranoia around what I would like to call forever games. And they're games like Minecraft, they're games like Factorio, where while there is a goal in mind, generally, there's no, like, concrete, mission objective. It's not like, even a 200-hour RPG is structured around, maybe an endgame boss, and there's some, but open-ended games like Minecraft or things I was always a little bit anxious of making videos on in the grand scheme of things, because this is like episode, what, 120 maybe? I'm now nowhere near done with the world, and that's sort of the scary part. Because, like, you know, there are, I would argue, situations where, and these were obviously the only two series that entered the triple-digit episode count. The only other game which got close was Mario Galaxy, and that was in an era of my channel where I made videos that were like targeting 10 to 15 minutes and not 30 minutes. My Factorio videos were targeting a fucking hour, and some of them were like an hour and a half. Like, I'm sure there's a way for YouTube to tell me the playtime, but I know fucking Factorio was crazy, because when Space Age came out, I was so excited that I only realized it came out like half a year later, after everybody already made their videos on it. And that's when I started my series. And the only thing I knew coming in was that it was cool. I didn't know how much time it would take me. All I wanted to do was kind of do stuff in my own order. And, I'm so happy I didn't go to Gleba first. I went to fucking Vulcanus, and that was great. Well, to be fair, what's funny is, even so many episodes later, fucking Gleba still doesn't have a proper production base. I'm just shipping most of my stuff in from, I believe, either Vulcanus or Nauvis, for the simple reason that I don't like Gleba. I feel like it's not fun, and if it's not fun, why bother, you know? As a wise man once said, hold on, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this is gonna require me to do this. Oh, I see. So I'm just gonna, yeah, why not? But yeah, it's one of those sorts of things. And realistically speaking, is it a big deal? Clearly not. But to me, I always felt it was kind of weird, you know? I don't want to make like a forever game, because I don't want to be known as the guy who plays, you know, these two games. I want to do this and that. And then once the ice was broken, I started making videos and a bunch of other stuff. Disappointingly, some of the videos I was hoping would do decently well didn't, and shockingly, some of the videos I never expected to do well did. Like, right now, this is the one thing which I wish... Everybody always talks about AI and shit. If only I could tell my phone, Mr. Phone, may you please go into the YouTube Studio app, sort my videos by most viewed, and find which Let's Play episodes are doing, like, remarkably well compared to the other episodes in the series. It can't do that, but it can convince me into things that aren't real being real. And it can, like, you know, it'll tell me wrong information confidently because it doesn't know what truth is. It only knows what's in the database. And it doesn't understand sarcasm unless, like, the only way Google's AI or whatever other AI could understand sarcasm is if in the database there are, like, strong indications to a topic being sarcastic in nature. Like, you know, there's like, you know, there are some places where there's like, don't be a pedant is like, you know, a thing they'll tell you, but the way they'll say it is not don't be a pedant. It would translate to like, don't be British, because, you know, the British can be pedantic at times, stereotypically. And then, like, an AI would say, ha, yeah, this is an... You know, an AI which had no idea what the origin was of would probably say something like, oh, yeah, this is an example of a, you know, anti-British sentiment, when in reality, it's just a saying. It's just a joke, bro. It is kind of funny. I think, like, recently Hank Green, like, fell into the AI vortex, which thankfully I haven't. it's funny because like it's the like okay maybe it's the like ADHD token in this case, right? But sometimes it's like I think to myself and like, okay, what actually counts as AI? Because there have been times when I was like unsure where like did a game release in 1991 or 1992. Like I sometimes because sometimes the games I don't actually think about sometimes the release years melt in my mind. So like I'll think to myself and I'll be like, okay, when did was Sonic 1991 or 1990? And so I'll Google it, and oh, it turns out it was 1991. But I don't go until like a wiki. I read the fucking preview because I know with great confidence that that's not gonna mess up a release year like that. But then the question is, does that count as AI usage? And obviously, I feel, we can agree that no, because that's the thing, right? It's basically like trusting the very first Google search, except even stupider. And the thing is, like, you can sometimes nag it with stupid shit, and it can point you in the correct direction. Like, it can accurately say that Jeff the Killer would in fact lose in a fight against Freddy Fazbear because Jeff is a child and Freddy is a big robot that can bite off his frontal lobe. And Jeff was fought off by like a child in his own comic. In his own creepypasta, which was actually a self-insert for the guy who wrote it, who was also named Jeff. That's really funny. But yeah. Like, there are a lot of these questions, and nobody wants to answer them. Because at the end of the day, everybody just wants AI usage not to count. Everybody just wants AI usage to not count whatever they like, My thing isn't AI, but your thing, what you're doing, that's AI brain rot. But yeah, I just feel like the barrier should be like when you are directly sourcing your claims from like, ChatGPT or whatever, rather than from actual sources. And not when you're Googling the release year of a game. Obviously, I haven't ever been called out for it, like... No, I actually have had people accuse my voice of being AI. Which is really funny, considering... No, I feel like... Okay, I feel a part of that is the voice processing I do. Because there's, I filter my voice so that my 5-year-old, like, $60 mic sounds better. But, there's no AI shit. Well, I'm using RN noise for the noise cancellation, which is, I believe, neural network based, but that's not the same thing, not even close. But to continue on from the Let's Play thing, I just opened up the app on my phone, right? Luigi's Mansion E5 Paranormal Chaos, that level, 1.7 thousand views, for whatever reason. I assume people would... It only has 2 comments, and I think, like, one person got mad at me for swearing. I bet you it was somebody's parent who saw me playing, like, their kid was listening to this guy swearing while playing Luigi's Mansion 2. The 3DS version of that was my childhood, theoretically. Then the next one was, like, Cavern of the Metal Cap in Mario 64 DS. That was episode 34. Then episode 69 of my Mario Galaxy series. What was that even? It was, I'm trying to see what star it was while also not getting distracted from the game. I'll only take this much with me right now. Yeah. Let's see. It was... Wait, edit is gonna show me. Hidden Star... Oh yeah, the Galaxy's Hidden Star and Revenge of the Topman Tribe. Yeah, okay, that explains it. Obviously, the Hidden Star. Yeah, because the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 recently became more popular due to the... Thank you, Nintendo. Then, yeah, some other Luigi's Mansion 2 HDs, then the first episode of this series, which is unique. Oh, Rayman Origins, the final video, Land of the Living Dead, nearly has 1,000 views. That's crazy. Yeah, like, what's funny is, if I don't do anything special in a month, I'll get, like, let's say, 10,000 views. And from those, like, 35%, like a third, come from, like, Let's Play remittances. And the other 2/4 come from, like, big video remittances. And that's not counting if I release a big video which does well, which sometimes they do, sometimes they do not. Yeah, the 404 challenge that I recorded all the way back in 2022 did well. The funny thing is, I didn't upload it, but I had the raw footage, which meant that I could go in and fix the audio, because in 2023, I ended up, like, making a big change to my audio setup, again, and it just ended up being better. Some of the original audio advice I got on how to improve my audio came from some random fucking TF2 guy, which I find really funny. Shit. Then, yeah, Mario 64 DS Episode 1, Mario 64 DS, the Vanish Cap stage. For some reason, Episode 51 of Better Than Adventure, because I think, like, that was the final video for a while. I don't get why, it's just called A Cool Pool. Was the joke just that good? Was, like, the pun just that good? You cool, you know, sorry, not even pun, was the rhyme that good? I don't know. What I do know is that, oh, again, nearly 1,000 views. Oops, sorry. Then Mario Bros. 2, Will 10, Mario Wonder, the Hidden Desert levels. Then Fanboy's video was up to nearly 800 views. The Shadow Rayman stages in Rayman Legends, I completely memory hold that one. Yeah, Factorio Space Age Episode 1. The final episode in Mario Bros. It is kind of funny, because to me, I never really remember how many views I needed, because, like, you know, I often think to myself, yeah, a lot of the times when I play games now, especially from, like, you know, once all the low-hanging fruit were already claimed by me, a lot of the games I play aren't the most popular, so obviously, you know, they're not gonna get as many views. Obviously, there aren't as many Earth Defense Force fans as there are fans of Mario Wii. But yeah, like, as I go on in my YouTube journey, it's gonna be funny because, like, there's gonna be a point where, because, like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when do you hope to, how far would you, you know, keep pushing this stuff? When will you throw in the towel? Well, hopefully never. Hopefully I'll keep doing this forever. Obviously that's impossible, but, like, is that not the joy in life? Having a hobby, which you do because it's fun. Obviously there are people who scoff at the idea, but, like, people scoff at anything. Who cares? I do this for myself first. Which, like, you know, back when I heard some YouTubers say that, like, obviously if, like, Logan Paul is saying, oh yeah, I do these videos for myself. No, he doesn't. I guess he does it if he means, you know, oh, for the money. But you know what I mean. But when I say that with my view counts, I feel like that is a lot more believable. And I feel like there's something to be said about like the more and less acceptable kinds of videos to make on YouTube, because there are a lot of like weird YouTube channels. Some of them I see and respect, and other ones like you'll see and be like, you know, nah. Oh, they made a Fallout 4 multiplayer mod. I literally just got a Discord message. Because there was one thing which I've always kind of argued for, but never in public, because Fallout fans are rather easily upsettable, is that Fallout, in its current sort of, like, Fallout would work really good in multiplayer, and Bethesda games in general, but not in the Fallout 76 sort of way, but in a very sort of like Minecraft persistent world D&D session-ish sort of way. Because, you know, Dungeons and Dragons works in multiplayer, and Fallout at the end of the day is something which came out of the same, you know, cooking pot where many other CRPGs came out of. So I would argue, specifically for CRPGs, way more than JRPGs, multiplayer should be considered. The issue is, you know, Bethesda wanted to add multiplayer into 76, but when they did that, they didn't add it in the way that I would want it added. They added Fallout 76 multiplayer as, you know... Oh god, is this still recording the... No, it's not. Like, they added the multiplayer in the sense that you can play with friends, but it's in an MMO type deal. It's live service. But CRPGs don't really work as live service games. That's a different sort of thing, I would argue. Like, the persistent world is what people love about, you know, Bethesda games. And everything, like, that you see in a Bethesda game that annoys you, that's all there so that the game can remember, like, the exact position of every fork you've moved in the game. And all the other little stuff it keeps track of. All the little janky issues are all a result of the internal engine trying its best to remember everything. And it's, I've heard, decently easy to work with. Easy to implement stuff into. And sadly, though, damn, some of its parts are, like, a little bit problematic, it seems. But yeah, going down the list further, it's Luigi's Mansion, the original, one of my earliest Let's Plays, episode 15, because I fought Uncle Grimly, who was, like, a hidden boss. I believe this was because I was looking at, I don't even remember what it was, but I was trying to, yeah, that's, yeah. Anyways, yeah, there was that. Then, you know, we had, what were the other, like, really shockingly popular ones, for my metrics at least? Because, yeah, like, 500 views per episode is, like, nothing for most people, but for me, yeah, Mario, like, yeah, Wario World episode 7, from, like, 8 episodes in total, I believe, or, like, 9? Yeah, that one did really well. Compared to the other ones with, like, 500 views. What else is there? It's kind of hard to do that when building up here. You know what, give me 1 minute just to quickly scroll down, so I'll read them out for you. Yeah, Mario 64 DS, episode 21, The Desert Pyramid, Thousand Year Door, in the last, like, chapter. Chief Chili boss fight in 64 DS, a random episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy Misadventures, which I played on a whim, and the mic didn't work in that entire series. Some better than adventure episodes. Fallout 7 launching that one rocket. 404 Challenge Episode 2. More better than adventure episodes. A random episode of Panzer Dragoon Saga where I had an encounter with Crayman. I wonder how the other episodes are doing. The final episode of the main story of Fallout New Vegas. A lot more better than adventure episodes, Rayman, Mario, that sort of stuff. Actually, quite a few. Did Panzer Dragoon... Hold on. Did Panzer Dragoon Saga go up in popularity? Hold on. Yeah, some of the later episodes have quite a few views on them. Oh yeah, especially the episode where I, encounter with Rayman, but also the episode where I found the final few D units and got the dragon. So yeah, that means more people are into... Yeah, you can also, like, gauge people's interest in games, which is good. But yeah, like, it's cool, isn't it? Like, so, like, and one thing is, like, you can just look back and see sort of, like, the body of your work, I guess. Obviously, like, the body of your work, and it's a fucking Let's Play, it's not gonna be super impressive, but, like, it's still stuff you've made. It's still stuff that you can be proud of, even if, oh, it's just a Let's Play. Who cares? It's fun making them. And I feel like that's a big... Okay, let's see how much this heals. Well, more than 3 hearts, definitely. If it's only 4 hearts, I'm gonna be annoyed. But yeah, it's just one of those things, Like, obviously, I'm a big fan of the mines and the crafts. But, like, I don't want to... I don't want to make a channel entirely about that. I've seen people who only cover, like, one type of content, literally, like, make another channel for, like, oh yeah, this is the main channel where I mostly cover Mario Kart stuff, and here's another channel where I cover the Pokemon. I have everything in the same channel, except the second channel that's, exclusively basically being used for some old clip dumps, which I haven't even finished. I don't even know why. There was, yeah, I don't know. Because there have been, like, periods in my life where I was, like, more or less, like... Because depending on, like, your friend group and shit, sometimes... there are times when you have, like, a active sort of friend group where you're doing stuff together, and just, like, a friend group where you chat, who you chat with. And, like, obviously, my ability to, make videos for the channel, obviously, is, counterbalance with that. Thankfully, by, installing a lot of the games that we play on my laptop, I can just, like, still... often render the videos while we're playing sometimes. It's fine. And obviously, like, it's one of those things where, like, when you're still in high school or whatever, or just when you, in general, when you don't have a job, you're gonna come home and you're gonna be energized still enough to make videos, but when you actually get one of those J*Bs, it's not that you can't do it, and not that a lot of people don't do it, but there's a pretty big sort of jump in you needing to, like, adapt to having a lot less energy than you may think you have. And instead of just, like, you just have to, like, push through a sort of energy barrier, in a sense. And once you do that, you'll be fine. Though, yeah, if we're discussing, like, this stuff, one thing which I have often mentioned here, because of how interesting it has been to me, is, like, old YouTube, old Let's Play, that sort of stuff, because it's annoying. Because I know that, like, well, for one, I know that my voice wouldn't have been very good back in the day. Not only was my, like, English level lower, but I was just in general, like, I had a squeakier voice, which would have obviously been more, like, grating to listen to. Thankfully, as time goes on, you develop your voice, both in the sense that, like, both in the sense that you, like, slowly begin to, obviously, like, for one, as you get older, your voice will kind of change and deepen, but for two, as you like do YouTube more, as you gain the experience, you'll just kind of know how to talk better. You'll have like a better, more clear intonation. You'll just sound better. You'll be more intelligible. And that's kind of, I feel like, what helps a lot. But yeah, like, it's one of those things. If I went back into, like, 2012 with my current knowledge, and with a voice that wasn't my voice how it was back then, like, YouTube would have been not afraid of me, because I would have probably still not done very well, considering a lot of the games that I liked weren't necessarily that popular. I mean, I would have been a good Minecraft YouTuber, I guess, back then. But yeah, like, the what I find funny. But yeah, like, people will mention that, like, oh yeah, but even back then, like, how many Minecraft Let's Plays were back there? What makes you think you would be the more interesting one? And the answer is, you have to be entertaining. And if there's, like, one thing I think that I have accomplished, because, like, that's what people wonder. Like, how do you, like, succeed when you do gameplay videos? Well, in my case, you also make other kinds of videos, but really, you have to be, you just have to be engaging in some way. You can be engaging by just being entertaining, having interesting things to talk about. You can be engaging by being really good, or maybe by being really bad. I mean, there's you may have heard of him. He's called Darkside Phil. He has a reputation for being one of the worst people ever to play video games. And the thing is, okay, he has some moments where he's genuinely, like, dial-up modem moments. He has some genuine, like, really dumb moments, but most of the time, it's more about the fact he never blames himself than it is about, him generally being bad. He isn't that much, like, in the grand scheme of things, Phil isn't much worse than the average gamer. He's just, really angry about it. And I could never beat someone like Phil, because I'm just not the same kind of person he is. Which may be a good thing. But, like, I'm never gonna have, like, I could never fulfill the same niche. This still... Okay, wait, I have to test this out now. This still heals me? Is it only... Okay, surely it's 6 hearts. Yeah. Wow, okay. I'm gonna have to go hunt some deer with my Ford F1. No, what's the really fat one? Like the Ford F650, I think. I gotta go hunt some deer. Time to get in my truck and mow them down. And we're gonna see you next time when I do the big surface. God, that's gonna be miserable. I'm gonna just put the I'm just gonna, okay, before the episode even fucking ends, I'm just gonna, like, store the venison in there. I'm not gonna need it. He says, knowing damn well he's gonna fall down on the first... Yeah, I just want to do this before the episode ends. But oh yeah, I'm gonna... I don't care. Come on. But yeah, I'm gonna see you next time when we better more adventures. See you then. Goodbye. Shit.